Hey, y'all, Happy New Year, and welcome to the podcast episode number 143 for the Social Worker Coach. I want to welcome y'all to this podcast episode because I'm talking about how I'm redesigning my life at age 48. So, like I said, definitely welcome. And if you want to, of course, see me on video, just know that this podcast episode, and actually the past ones as well, they're all on YouTube as well so that you can see me, put it that way, whether I'm rocking a new earrings or something's going on, or I'm just being silly in the video, that kind of thing. Like I said, you can definitely see that on YouTube as well. My YouTube channel is my name, Tonetta Clay. So again, welcome to this podcast episode. Like I said, I'm talking about redesigning my life at age 48. I haven't done an episode like this, I don't think, on this podcast. I don't think ever, probably. I know I've done like some daily vlogs and like different things like that, but not actually getting down to who Tonetta is, telling my story. I give you snippets throughout, but like I said, I definitely want to share this video just to let you know about, well, just to let you know that I'm just like you, of course, just like you, trying to figure things out. There's no blueprint to life, to business, to anything. I know that. Hopefully you know that too. And of course, I'm redesigning my life again because at this point, I'm noticing some things that I don't like, and I'm seeing some areas that I want to change. This is not to say I don't love myself, I don't like myself, all that kind of stuff. I definitely greatly do. I believe I'm the beautifulest in the world. But like I said, definitely wanting to make sure that the things that I'm doing, not just the things that I'm doing, how I'm presenting myself as well, is the way I want to be doing things and presenting myself. If that makes sense, I guess. I'm sure it makes sense. But like I said, I know I'm not, like I said, I'm 48 years old. I'll be 49 and later on this year. And like I said, this is not because it's the new year at all. I can care less about the new year coming. These are things I've been thinking about and trying to implement throughout the past several years. I wasn't consistent, dedicated to it, that kind of thing as well. Mainly it was a consistency though, as to why these things had not been done back then. So like I said, I definitely want to, like I said, shed some light on who I am, what I'm going through, and why I'm redesigning my life at this point. Again, I guess I put it that way. I'm sure this may not be the last time. I'm sure of that, because I'm sure there are some things I'm going to be tweaking and redoing, all those revamping, and all those types of things as well. So, but let me go ahead and get into this, y'all. So I wrote down, I have some notes here. And I'm looking at my notes, and I have 5 different sections that I want to kind of talk to y'all about, that I had to think about when I was trying to, or saying to myself that I want to be serious this time about redesigning my life and sticking to the things that I said I was going to do, and not allowing other things, people, and places to, of course, get in the way. I know y'all heard me say this is podcast episode number 143. I had to go through this morning and count through how many podcast episodes I had. How crazy, y'all. I don't have it listed on for some reason. I'll have to make sure I put it on there though. But for some reason, it's not listed on my podcast. It's this number, that number, this. I'm like, this is the craziest thing. So I had no idea what the hell I was starting off at when it came to this podcast. I guess like my first podcast episode of 2025, I had no idea what number I was starting at. I know now it's 143. So I just want to say that. There's another thing I'm going to be getting together this year too, making sure I know my stuff, especially when it comes to me, my business, or whatever I'm doing. So when I'm talking about redesigning my life, I wrote down like a little snippet of what that means to me, and I hope that it, of course, means the same to you and make you think about your life and that kind of thing as well, if you're wanting to make some changes at this point. So redesigning my life means to me, and I'm reading this on my paper, intentionally and actively making significant changes to my current lifestyle, career, or personal habits. And like I said, I'll get into all those things once I'm done reading this. By taking a proactive approach to create a life that's more closely aligned with my values, goals, and desired future, often involving self-reflection, setting new priorities, and making deliberate choices to achieve them. So like I said, I found this on Google, and I want to make sure that I read this to y'all, because this is the closest thing that I can get to what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling and that kind of thing as well. So, and I got a few more things. I guess just to I know I already said being intentional. Of course, being intentional with the stuff that I'm doing, making sure that I'm actually creating things that I actually want to create, that I actually want to change, and that kind of thing as well. I'm not just picking stuff out the thin air. So I had to reevaluate my life a lot to figure things out. And this may help you all as well. Self-awareness. Of course, you have to be very self-aware. You have to be able to tell yourself the areas that you need to change within your own self, and not be afraid to tell yourself the truth. I always say, speak your truth. Yes, the truth is going to hurt, but at some point you have to speak your truth, especially if you want change in your life. And it's not that anybody else is telling you these things, it's that you are telling yourself those things. So like I said, that's what self-awareness to me means. Goal setting, of course, setting the goals, setting the things that you see that's pertinent and that you want to, of course, change, making sure that you have those goals written down. I'm a firm believer. Write the vision and make it plain. That's what the Bible says as well. I know it's more to that, but like I said, write the vision and make it plain. And I just know that this is a continuous process. Like I said in the beginning of this podcast episode, that I, of course, started things, didn't finish, and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I know that it's a continuous process, and that I have to, of course, go back and reflect and adapt to those changes or the things I need to do moving forward if I need to make changes, which I'm sure I will. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. I hope this won't be too long, but I know I'm long-winded sometimes, and it can't be very long, as y'all know me. So I'll go ahead and get started. But before I do, I don't think I even said to make sure that you, of course, subscribe to this podcast, the Social Worker Coach, or whatever platform you're hearing this podcast on. Of course, I'm on Apple Podcast. It's based over on Spotify. There's several other podcast platforms that this podcast is listed on. So make sure that you, of course, like I said, subscribe to the one that you're on. But if you want to come on over to Spotify or to Apple Podcasts, that kind of thing, feel free to do so and just subscribe there. I also mentioned at the beginning that all these podcast episodes do go on my YouTube channel, and I'll make sure I have all this information down in the description of this episode, just to let y'all know. But my YouTube channel is my name, Tonetta Clay. Basic and to the point, to put it that way. So like I said, that's where you'll see all my podcast episodes, as well as other videos, other vlogs, other fun videos, other things that I put up there, mostly talking about relationships, life, mindset, and personal development. So like I said, definitely make sure that y'all go check that out. But like I said, I'll put all the information in the description of this podcast, 143 episode. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. The first thing, when I was talking about redesigning my life at age 48, of course, my career in business. As far as career, I have been a social worker, working with those from birth to death at this point. I've been a social worker for a little bit over 25 years now. Let me see. This is 2025, so it'll be 26 years this year, actually. So like I said, I'm a social worker right out of college, right into the field of working foster care, case management, adoption. I did adoptions as well, and home studies. And home studies are going out to see the home to make sure the child can be placed there. I did all kinds of things with that job, testifying at court, researching the cases, all types of things, writing court reports. Then I went into working at for a little bit over 10 years at a teen shelter for single moms and their kids. And of course, I work with them scheduling events, doing all the intakes, the intake interviews to bring the young ladies into the program, or to, of course, send them somewhere else because they didn't fit our program criteria. And then I ended up part ways through that running the apartment program for the transitional housing program for those young ladies who were older, trying to get on their own, working jobs, trying to go to school, all of them still raising their families. Then I, of course, worked at a home health agency. And then, of course, I'm working with older adults still right now. Working with older adults as far as being a caregiver support group facilitator. And also, of course, providing resources, information, case management, all that kind of stuff in the process as well. It's what I've done at all the jobs I've been at anyway. But like I said, that's my career. As far as business, I've had all different types of business. To me, they failed. Well, to a certain extent, they failed. The longest running business I've ever had was my baking business, or is my baking business. I still have a baking business to this day. It's called Cookies and Ish, where I sell, of course, big, fat, soft, thick cookies and that kind of thing. And of course, I still love making my little pound cakes and cupcakes and all that kind of stuff too. But the main basis of that business is cookies, actually. let me see, that's the longest running one I've had since I was probably about 20 years old, I think, in my first apartment. Well, I would say about 22, 23, because I was, of course, at that age trying to figure out how to make the cakes and make them taste good and that kind of thing. So I've been doing this for a long time, y'all, over 20 years. So, and then, of course, let me see, this is 2025. I have no idea what year, y'all. I think it was maybe 2007, 2008. It wasn't 17. It was 18. I think 18. 2000. I'll just say 17, 18. I ran into this group online that taught you how to speak and all those types of things. And of course, I was doing, of course, daily or weekly videos, trying to, of course, improve my speech and speak, tell my truth and all that kind of stuff, tell my story and that kind of thing. And that's what I started doing on those videos. Like I said, I know that started in 2017, the fall of that. And I've continued that on until today, as you see me on this podcast and as you see me on the YouTube as well. Like I said, that has continued. But in the meantime, I think it was, like I said, I'm bad with the years, y'all. I'll just say 2018 as well. I became a certified life coach, a life and relationship coach. So, which I knew it wouldn't be that much different from the studies I had in social work, but I took it anyway just to make sure and just to see what I was missing and whether it was something I need to brush up on. And of course, they had different information, like some worksheets and different ways that they did things, I guess, in their business. So like I said, I took those things and applied them, which was fine. But I have not made any money in that business. So I think like $9 for one of the digital downloads I sold years ago. And like I said, I know that that's consistency. Yes, I've been consistent talking about relationships and, of course, mindset and that kind of thing. The same things I talk about, of course, everywhere on social media. It's the same kind of things anyway when it comes to that. But I know that I had to learn. I'm still having to learn business. I didn't have anybody that, of course, could walk me through business and tell me how to do things. I had drug dealers in my family. That was really about it. So, of course, those are some skills, but it's not legal skills to actually learn a business, to create something like a coaching business. It's a product business, but not a coaching business. I'm the product in the business. So, like I said, definitely I had to I've been reading a lot of business books since about 2017, 18. Actually, probably a little bit before that, trying to, of course, like I said, learn business, learn the strategies, tips, tools, sales, marketing, advertising, all those types of things, trying to figure out what to do and how to do this particular business. Because I would love for my coaching business to be the business that I'm doing instead of being employed full-time as social worker. So like I said, that's what I've been saying for the last, I don't know how many decades, I couldn't even tell you. But like I said, it has not happened thus far. And like I said, I know there are some skills that I need to, of course, I'm pretty sure probably still learn. But I know that I can't say it shouldn't take this long, but like I said, I know it's taking a long time and that kind of thing. And people are like, what's going on? Which I don't really care what they're saying, but because they're not saying it to me, I'm sure, but cause I had nobody's asked. But still, in my mind, I'm like, okay, what is going on? What is taking so long? And why can't I get this business off the ground the way that I envision it, especially in the beginning? Of course, throughout the years, I've lost hope. I've lost the will to even keep forward with this business. I guess the coaching business, I guess I put it that way. I did get it back up and running again this past, I don't know, few months. I have no idea when, but sometime last year. It wasn't the beginning because I lost my aunt the beginning of last year. So I was kind of out of commission, not doing much of anything, still grieving. I'm still kind of going through that process a little bit, but it's gotten better. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, I had to take a break from things. And I wasn't doing as much as I had been at all. But like I said, I know that consistency is key when it comes to things like this. And not just consistency, but also having something to, of course, at some point, let somebody know that's available for sale. And I know that's where I have not done the very best at all. But like I said, I have things for sale now. But like I said, you will see them in the description of the video. I mean, the podcast, podcast video. But like I said, I know that was a downfall for me in the past. And like I said, definitely I'm still learning, which is okay. But like I said, I'm learning to be more consistent now. I'm being more consistent. Like I said, I'm kind of getting back on track and that kind of thing as well. But like I said, just being more consistent, making sure that my message is staying the same and those types of things as well. Because like I said, I know that when you're in business, sometimes it can take a little while, especially during these days and times when folks are scammed and all this kind of stuff is going on when it comes to when it comes to people selling things online and stuff like that too. So I understand that. But like I said, I know it takes consistency in that as well. So let me go ahead and get into the next thing. Physical health and fitness. And I would say physical health, just health and fitness, making sure that my health is in order, my fitness, and I guess fitness is, of course, I'm being consistent with the fitness, exercising, and that kind of thing as well. The main thing where I said I had to make sure that I'm redesigning at this point, years ago, back in 2015, 16, I did this fast, a fruit and veggie fast. Dr. Sabi, some of you all may have heard his name. If you haven't, that's okay. But like I said, it was a fast for a 40-day fast. Mainly just all you were eating was raw fruits and veggies, making shakes, making smoothies with the raw fruit and veggies, or just eating them in salads and that kind of thing, and making your own dressings and all that. I did a very good job. I didn't do the 40 days. I did 31. But my numbers, blood sugar, blood pressure, all that kind of thing was awesome. I had none of that stuff in my system at that point. But over the years, of course, up until now, I've let those things go to the wayside. My numbers looking crazy and all this kind of stuff going on. I said I have to get back into this because otherwise my goal of traveling and seeing the world will not happen because I won't be here if I can't get my numbers in order and my health in order. I guess I put it that way, which is in order. I'm doing okay. Not to scare anybody or that kind of thing. I'm definitely doing okay, but I know it could be a lot better. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, I definitely had to. Of course, this is the first a little bit over a week right now. Me going back to do that same kind of fast, raw fruit and veggies. I think it's been like a week now. I started sometime after the new year, but actually I kind of started before that because I was starting to make my salad dressings again, starting to, of course, have more salads like I had been. Even though I love salad, I usually eat salad probably like once a day, but I kind of fell off, of course, during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, eating all this junk food, making all this stuff. And y'all, I have a channel called Eat and Travel with Tony on YouTube, where I'm, of course, making different foods. Of course, my family still likes to eat the regular foods and all that kind of stuff. So y'all go back and see some of them recipes. Y'all be like, I understand why she said her numbers were crazy. So, but like I said, it's not just for the numbers. It's for me, for my health and my energy and everything else across the board. Like I said, I want to travel and do all these things, so this has to be in order. The vehicle I'm using to travel, to do my coaching business, to do everything on this list has to be in order. Otherwise, I can't do none of these things. So 3, emotional and mental health. Of course, like I said, I've had all types of things since we moved here to Arizona. The first year, I lost my grandfather. The second year, which was last year, I lost my one of my aunts, which was like a mother figure to me. And I've had deaths and stuff like that. My parents are no longer living. So, and of course, I just had a traumatic childhood and growing up and all that type of thing. And like I said, definitely, I, of course, journal and that kind of thing anyway. But of course, it hadn't been consistent these last few years, I would say. But of course, just getting back, being consistent with that. Of course, being consistent, writing every single day. Sometimes it's once a week or every 2 weeks I'm journaling at this point. But like I said, just making sure I'm being more consistent with that. I did a lot of journaling back since I was in my 20s, actually, my early 20s. Actually, you know what I did? I was writing and stuff in my diaries. I don't know if you remember the little diaries back when we was little kids. I had diaries since I was in grade school, actually. I'm sure first grade, because like I said, I've always been a writer and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know where all my diaries are now, because once we got to moving and being evicted and all these things, all that stuff got lost. So, but I know I had several diaries back then too. But like I said, right now I am journaling about once a week, every 2 weeks. But I know, like I said, I got to be a little bit more consistent with that, because I know we're going through some other things that, of course, some teen drama, some teen things inside the household. I'm, of course, we're not legally married at this point, but to me, I'm still a stepmom. That's how I raise her and that kind of thing as well. And that's the role that I play inside the household. So like I said, there's been a lot of different things that's going on. And like I said, I have to make sure that I'm keeping myself, my mental and my emotional health in check. Because back in the day, I used to have a horrible temper, blow up at people, all upset, all this kind of stuff. And I found myself doing that again the last several months, because I was so frustrated. I still am kind of frustrated as well. And I'll start talking about some stepmom diaries or journals at some point. Not journals, but I mean stepmom vlogs at some point as well, or podcast episodes. So y'all can hear some of what, like I said, some of the challenges and that kind of thing that you all can think about that you may be facing as well, especially if you're a stepmom. or if you're in a blended family. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, I had finding myself the last several months getting so upset and this kind of thing. Like I said, I have to start getting myself back in check, and I had to start getting myself back in check as far as my mental and my emotional health. I'm still, of course, that's a daily course work through. I'm working on it every single day. I'm doing qigong and walking, of course, more. And that goes with the fitness too, and that kind of thing too, because it helps calm me. I did just start getting out, and the fourth thing I'll talk about, because I'm about to get into it. Finding my peace again. Finding my peace, meaning that my quietness, my happy place. Yes, baking is something that helped me heal, and it still helps me heal. Writing, of course, does the same thing. Walking in nature does the same thing as well. And so, like I said, definitely me finding my peace again, because like I said, I've got so out of whack with all the stuff, the death that was going on recently, like the last 2 years. And then, of course, her coming to stay with us. It was a lot of stuff, a lot of changes, a lot of things going on. Her behaviors weren't making it any better. So, like I said, definitely, me and her, I guess her father, my partner, very, very stressed out. Still stressed out, I guess I put it that way. That's why I said I have this on the list for redesigning my life, to make sure that I'm finding my peace again. Because like I said, I know I found my peace, like I said, in the baking, the writing, speaking on video, that helps me too. Let me see, and walking, like I said, walking out in nature. And I started recently, the last few weeks, of course, going out on the trails here in Arizona on my own. Because, of course, back home, I did that a lot. I didn't care about to go on my own. I can go on my own, I'm fine. I knew that landscape for 40-something years. But moving here to Arizona the last 2 years, but just with that big change itself, has been just a change in everything. So like I said, definitely walking out on those trails here in Arizona, they have coyotes and bobcats and stuff, that's javelinas and stuff that just sometimes come out in the public all of a sudden. And like I said, definitely that's what kind of held me back from walking on these trails. I was scared to death. But a few weeks ago, I had to get over that fear. I said, this fear is going to keep me stuck in the house, and I refuse to do that. So I had to start getting back out there on the trails and walking on my own, just some of the small trails and that kind of thing, until I get used to it again, or get more used to the landscape here, I guess I put it that way, or the animal scape here. So I'm looking at my time, okay? But like I said, definitely finding my peace again is something that I must do. And of course, I want to add, like I said before, that traveling is something that I've always had a love and affinity for. I didn't always have the money. Of course, being a social worker, your money is about the money you make is just about to pay your bills. So, of course, I had to kind of finagle things to see how I can save to go on the trips I have saved and went on. And all that stuff is on Eat and Travel with Tony, my other YouTube channel. I'll put that in the description as well, just in case you want to check that out. I definitely say go check it out. I do talk about stuff over there, too. But like I said, definitely, traveling for me is giving me a chance to experience different cultures, take different adventures. I love experiences. I love adventures, and that's something that I've always thrived on and lived on, even though a lot of it has been local in the places I was at. But I'm trying to get out more to, of course, see this world, because that's something that I promised myself as a little kid, that I would travel this world whenever I got the chance to. And I'm trying to now get the chance to do so. Like I said, yes, I've only been on, I think, 4 or 5 cruises so far. We have another one scheduled, I guess, like in a month and a half. What is today? Yeah, a month and a half now. I go on the next cruise. So like I said, I'm definitely trying to get out, but we are going to schedule some land trips and that kind of thing too. Some of the trips may be me on my own. That is fine. I've already told my partner, we've already had this conversation about this, because this is something that I want. He wants to travel too, but this has always been something that in my mind, I guess for me as a person, he has it too. But like I said, this is something that I want, and I want to see, and I want to make that happen. I don't care what place, to the Baltic, to Russia. Y'all gonna see this person, this face there. Trust me on that. I'm looking at the camera, so y'all on the podcast, y'all can't see me, but I was being kind of silly. But the last thing I want to, of course, get into, fashion and makeup. Back in the day, I used to, of course, because I used to have to go to court all the time. So I used to have to dress up like in slacks and dress shoes and dress shirts and make sure my hair was in order and all that kind of stuff going into the courtroom, because they don't play about holding you in contempt, to put it that way. So, of course, I had to make sure that I was doing that. I didn't wear makeup. I'm not a person that usually wears makeup anyway. But sometimes some eyeshadow for going out, or some lip gloss, lipstick, or that kind of thing. But I've got, over the years, I've gotten way out of that, just mostly in tennis shoes, jeans, T-shirts, and that kind of thing. So one thing I said that I had to do starting now is to make sure that I'm, of course, finding my style, the way I want to look, the way I want to dress, and trying to implement some of those things with the money that I have, of course, the budget that I have, to, of course, make sure that I'm doing those things. I'm never going to wear full faces of makeup unless I'm a model again for somebody else, because I was a model for somebody in a makeup class like years ago. But other than that, I'm not wearing a full face. Like I said, eyeshadow, mascara, lipstick, lip gloss, that's about it. That's all you're going to see me in. But like I said, I definitely have to get back into creating a better outer me. I guess I put it that way. I have been working so much, so hard over these last several decades on the inner me and my traumas, my dramas, my everything else you can think of. And I kind of forgot about, like I said, the outer me, the actual dressing and the clothes and that type of thing. I'm not saying that I dress bad or that kind of thing at all, but I want to dress in a different way. Well, in sort of a different way. I put it that way. Not dressing up fully every day that I probably won't never do, because that's not me and that's not my style. But excuse me, what I'm looking to figure out into, I guess I have to just dive a little bit deeper and just play with some different designs, but just trying to figure out what it is that I like and what is my style. I don't know. I know some folks may know out there, not may know me, but I mean may know what different styles are out there. Put them in the comments. I definitely want to hear from you, because I need some help, y'all, when it comes to this. I got a whole trunk of makeup at home, probably about like a big old trunk. Makeup. I already got the makeup, lip glosses, lipsticks, and all that kind of stuff. But the clothes thing, like I said, that's one thing. My fashion, that's one thing that I definitely want to kind of pin down, at least what I'm trying to do. I put it that way, over the next several months. Because like I said, I love like I ain't gonna say my lazy dress, but I love to be comfortable in my clothes. So of course that's why I resorted mostly, of course, some slacks for work still, because I facilitate support groups, so I can't just be jeans and t-shirts every day. But of course, that's my usually go-to, are leggings and a t-shirt. That's my normal go-to, especially when I'm out of work or in the evenings, or when we have like a lazy day at work, we can wear any kind of thing. I just wear jeans and t-shirt. Or like I said, I definitely have to get more into, for me, not for anybody else, but like I said, finding my style again. To figure out what it is that Tonetta likes and what am I going to wear. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, this is me, y'all. Like I said, this is my first vlog. My first, podcast episode, number 143 in 2025. And like I said, I want to just give y'all some I don't know, information, I guess, give y'all some voice about who Tonetta is and who I am, what I'm doing, what's going on, what some of the things may have looked like, what I fell off on, and that kind of thing as well. Because like I said, I'm human just like y'all, and I have issues too and different problems going on and that kind of thing, but I don't feel that I share them enough with y'all at all. It's more all about business stuff, and I'm not business, but relationship stuff that I'm uploading and that kind of thing. Is focused on the coaching business or reading some different books and chapters to y'all, but it hasn't been more about me. And like I said, this is my social worker coach podcast. I definitely want to make sure that it's more about me. I mean, not more, I guess 50-50 about the information, then of course about me as well, so that y'all can know what I'm working on, what I'm struggling through. Because like I said, I know that it can help some of y'all in your journeys as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, because I do got to return back to work shortly. So that's why I keep checking the time. So I got to return back to work shortly. So again, this is Tonetta Clay with the Social Worker Coach Podcast. This is episode number 143 and the first one for the year 2025. And I'm talking about how I'm redesigning my life at age 48. Just know, y'all, that it's never too late to start redesigning and changing anything in your life, that you can always do that. So like I said in the beginning, of course, this is the podcast. Like I said, you can find it on Spotify, and of course it's on Apple Podcasts as well. But also, these are being recorded, so you can see them on YouTube too, so you can see who I am and put a face to a name, a face to a podcast, and that kind of thing. So with that, y'all, I'll go ahead and get off here. I will see y'all in the next episode, y'all. Like I said, y'all will hear more about who Tonetta is. So instead of all this relationship stuff, not saying that that's not a good thing, but I want you to know who I am too. So you can know I'm just like you too, struggling through things and need help with stuff too. So let me know in the comments, y'all, in what kind of way are you want to be redesigning your life at whatever age you're at. I do want to know down in the comments. So like I said, definitely talk to me, because I want to get to know y'all. So peace out, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next episode. This is episode number 143. So take care, y'all. Have a good one. Peace out.